It's me. Quick editorial note. So last episode was long because usually we shoot about for 2-3 hours or 2 hours ish, and then I cut it down to 30 or 40 minutes. There was just no way for me to cut the previous episode, and that's why there's that weird stop at the end. Also forgot to add the editing that we did record, but that's beside the point. But we had a good discussion about today's topic, so I decided to release that as an episode itself. It's a bit shorter than usual. It's about 15 minutes long, but that's because that's the only cut I could figure out in the whole reel we shot. So hope you enjoy that.
You want to have an outro, Kentaro?
Sleepy time.
All right, let's just close it up. I need 2 closings. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you all.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Be safe out there.
Celsius.
Keep going safe. 2024.
Stay super safe.
We love your
Legal.
faces.
Stay legal. And then second outro, because I think I'm going to cut it to the Wi-Fi stuff and then the gaming stuff. So talking about old tech, somebody after 34 years finally beat Tetris.
I saw that. That was incredible.
Right? So
and he's like young.
Yeah, he's a 13-year-old boy who is the first to believe to beat Tetris. Now, I literally had no idea what that meant because I was like, what do you mean beat Tetris? I mean, it's just a game, right? Turns out Tetris was considered unbeatable by design because it just will keep adding more.
You're right.
The problem was that because the classic Tetris on the NES, it would max out the RAM at one point. It will start to crap out things, and we'll have like unbeatable levels. Like there's like a level that's called charcoal apparently, where it's only like black and gray blocks, and it's almost impossible to see. And then if you go past that, you're into this other zone. There's a great clip that explains, because I was like, I had to look it up, that explains what beating Tetris means in the history of it. So apparently there was a limit on people being able to flip the blocks up to level 34 or something. And then somebody found a way to move their fingers like really fast and shake the controller so they get quicker responses out of the controller. So they're like, they have this like special hold that you're supposed to do on the controller, that because that will double tap the button at like significantly higher rate than just holding it like this. And then that raised the level to like level 50 something. And then some people found a way to beat it. They build a app that could basically is a rubber ducky of Tetris games, rotate faster than anything else. So then the goal was 150 something, and then at 159, which is this level, the whole system just fully crashes.
Jeez,
and
that's
what
crazy.
Pac-Man has the kill screen, you know.
So exactly like the Pac-Man kill screen, except for the fact that the Tetris kill screen was never achieved. The true kill screen was never achieved until recently.
That's just bizarre because, you know,
That's
the amount
crazy.
of speed that falling down is just bananas.
Yeah.
If you ever played Tetris.
Dude,
how
it gets
addictive that
harder and
game
harder.
was.
And side note, the movie's really good too.
The movie?
Yeah, there's a Tetris movie about the history of Tetris and how it like actually became a video game in Soviet Russia. They were able to like get the rights and actually build it into a game. And
Now,
make it.
I
here's
can
the
now
bit-
that you hear the song already.
Yeah, they play it like 30 times in the movie.
Here's the bit that I found really interesting about this news is that the gamer who's 13 years old, his name is Willis Gibson. Like Hack the Gibson, William Gibson.
That's crazy. What a name.
He lives in Oklahoma. You know, he says he can't find his fingers anymore, but I mean, the videos or the culture surrounding, and there are a couple good high score, like there's a couple documentaries on Netflix that are really good about, you know, the history of gaming and the video games that made us and whatnot. Deep world of like games that I have known. I've become fond of YouTubers doing retro gaming, trying the like unbeatable games that I grew up with. Like I remember, you know, there's a couple of local YouTubers here that will play the unbeatable games of my childhood. Nobody has gone through level 4 on this game. Like, and I watched those.
So Golden Axe, I don't know if you guys ever played Golden Axe. So Golden Axe on PC, it would actually crash because of the way the disc had an error in it. And one of the first reverse engineering tips that I learned from like 1997 was how to reverse engineer Golden Axe so that it would continue to play the rest of the game. And then the other thing that just reminded me of is I started playing a ton of Final Fantasy 3, which is Final Fantasy 6, actually Final Fantasy 6 on SNES, and that was like one of my most favorite games. So
The famous game,
retro gaming's a blast.
I don't know if you know this, but Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh, I loved Ghosts and Goblins. Oh
but
my gosh,
Ghosts and
that game
Goblins was one of
amazing.
those games that was almost impossible, right?
Dude,
The people who have seen that last screen are very few, and there are a bunch of them on YouTube now, like the fast run Mario's and whatnot. This Tetris game just brought out like, oh yeah, I remember playing hours and hours of Tetris, and I didn't know there was 100, that there was a level 157. Now, the reason why this story becomes interesting is apparently there's this deep community of worldwide Tetris players that have analyzed the NES version of Tetris. They have figured out that under certain conditions where the game will crash.
Right.
And the highest level they found was 157. And that's where the kid beat them, I guess. But there's like a spreadsheet on Google Docs that outlines all the conditions and where the game would crash. And I'm like, that's, I thought we were nerds talking about wireless shit.
Dude, right? Like you go into situations where, like with Final Fantasy, I Googled Final Fantasy FAQs for battle calculations.
Yeah.
And it's like there is like insane references of the math going into like even the random encounters in the different Final Fantasy versions and stuff. And people have like enumerated this. And I'm like, I don't know how you've done this. Like the number of sheer hours that people have put in these FAQs to figure this stuff out, like it blows my mind.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. It's really cool to see.
I remember there was a glitch in Dragon Quest 2 or 1.
Oh my gosh, Dragon Quest.
That if you
wasn't it called Dragon Age in the US and then they changed it to Dragon Quest?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, because I think Dragon Quest was the original name, and I think
and
in the
Dragon
US
is the year of Chinese New Year this year.
This year it is. But there was a glitch in it that if you talk to a specific character in a specific order and did something in a specific order, there was this one item that basically gave you unlimited power of everything. It's always interesting when people find these.
Speaking about
glitches.
Games and all that stuff, and speaking about what we do, wireless shit show talking, and it's the Over Dragon. And have you seen the videos of those massive dragon drone shows?
Oh yeah, those are cool.
It's like, holy fuck. So I have a question for you guys, because you guys are the dopest shit ever, and you know all this stuff. How on earth do you orchestrate one of those?
It's called a swarm control.
Yep.
So basically there's a program that you can program the drones to act like a bee swarm or a swarm of birds. They're not.
But you have to design the model of it.
Yeah. It's basically a CAD program for drones almost. And then
so they're doing like a 3D model of what the drone paths are going to be, and then that's going to be in 3D space relative to geolocation. So then, and each drone has a GPS, and then with those information, you can then design a path with it. I had an FPV drone. I got really hardcore into droning, and I was using OpenPilot to do autonomous drone routes to be able to film things around my neighborhood. And then I would take over manual control to bring it back in and land and stuff. So I've done it on a scale of one drone with OpenPilot. So
it's not like you're going to have 200 drone operators and go, let's launch it, let's line it up. That's not going to work that way, right?
That would be super dope, though. Synchronized droning. That should be an Olympic sport.
It's going to be hard to do. But yeah, it's called swarm modeling or drone swarm simulating.
Now the next step is of course, but you know what I'm going to ask now. So how do you disrupt that?
Well, a lot of those are pre-programmed with their paths and stuff, so they don't have real-time. The real-time communication is where they're at on their path, and what like their rate. And then if they go off course and are not, they usually have like a safety sequence where they land. There's usually not any once they're launched and started the program. There's no way to send additional commands to it except for to disrupt their GPS. And in that case, they usually just drop and fall. Side note, Skinwalker Ranch, the History Channel series, they actually thought that they could maybe have some anomalous phenomena happen if they did like a drone show, because they thought that lights would lead to something. and they had a bunch of drones when they were doing this at Skinwalker Ranch, put the drones up and started doing some pre-programmed things with it. They had a bunch of drones just come back, but it's not clear whether those malfunctions were due to they lost GPS or there was actually anomalies because they think that there might be aliens out there. Or it was TV and they're just trying to make it dramatic. So who knows what the actual result is. But if you go, like I was at a show called Life is Beautiful in Las Vegas, and they had one of those drone swarms, and they were trying to show like different advertisements and stuff on it. And they were having problems with it. And like a lot of it worked, and there were some really cool visuals that they did. But on some of the advertisements, like you couldn't make out the words because you could clearly see that some of the drones had like dropped out during that process. So it was kind of interesting.
Or you could take a shotgun.
It's definitely not perfect. It's definitely not a perfect technology. So, oh snap! We have visitors.
Okay,
Corey,
it's the birthday girl.
Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday! You can go back to being the birthday girl's arm candy, Mike, if you want.
So you have
Kentaro thinks I'm the birthday girl's arm candy. Here, I can.
It's my birthday.
That's gonna be the thumbnail for this show.
Yes. It's my birthday.
It's been her birthday for an hour and 30.
All right,
5 minutes, bitch.
I'll let you go enjoy the party, Mike. Hey, let us know about your favorite games so that we can talk about more.
Gamers unite.
Yeah, and
Let us
retro
know.
games. Let us know what retro games you're playing. Let them know in the comments down below. I'm playing Final Fantasy, so let me know what you're playing.